What's good, everybody? It's your boy Taco, and today we're back with another video. And today we are going to be ranking every starting quarterback in the league 32-1. These are my opinions on not only who is the starting quarterback, but where they go. I would say that there's a lot of maybe not so popular opinions. There also is pretty much a clear line. Like, the bottom 6 guys mostly are unproven. But the starters that I've loved Stroud. I've Young, Stroud, and Richardson starting. I do not have Will Levis starting. I still have Tannehill starting. I have Heinicke starting over Ritter for the Falcons. I have Murray on this list, even though he's going to be out for half the year. And let's see. I have Purdy for the Niners. I think that's all the controversial ones. But let's just get right into it. With number 32, it's Sam Howell of the Washington Commanders. I mean, he has one start on his belt, and he's a 4th or 5th round pick. He was the 5th quarterback taken in this draft. 6th quarterback taken in this draft in 2022, and he has one start and he does well, and now we expect him to just start next year and do amazing. I just don't think that it's going to work. I think that they should start Jacoby Brissett over him, at least for now, and then maybe he could work in the future, but right now, it's just not it. At 31, I have Anthony Richardson, and I thought that I would put him higher, but I just can't. He's a rookie. That's pretty much the whole thing with him, is he's an unproven rookie. Never played a snap, obviously. He's a freaking rookie. And I just don't expect him to do much. I think that him starting week 1 is not what should happen, but it is what will happen. And he's a project. He's a project, and he's unproven. I wouldn't be surprised if he's 15 by the end of the year. Okay. At 30 is C.J. Stroud. Pretty much the same thing, except he is not as much of a boom or bust prospect, and he's going to be like a little steady. He has an awful organization behind him that's going to make him look worse. He's probably going to have statistically the worst numbers in the league, but that's also because he's playing with the Texans and his number 1 receiver is Nico Collins. But, you know, it's not a great situation, as I've stated multiple times, but maybe he could work through it. Maybe he could do something all right, but unproven rookie, 30. Number 29, I have Jordan Love. I don't see why a bunch of people are against it. I mean, when you have this kind of string with Packers quarterbacks where they're all so good, you know that he's going into a steady organization. I think that he could be all right for a year or two and maybe develop into something. But also, at the same time, he has 3 starts under his belt. Or he has 1 start. He has a few games under his belt. Didn't look too good. And now you're just... I mean, he's unproven, even though he's in his 4th year, because he's been a backup for his first 3. So, who really knows? With 28, this is maybe the only guy that's kind of proven, and that's Baker Mayfield for the Bucs. He could do something. He could definitely do something, maybe. I just don't expect it to happen. I think, especially with the scheme that they're in, when you're going to Brady to some other guy, you know, it won't be as good because he might still be in a Brady-led scheme, and you're not going to do that good. But Baker Mayfield, he's alright. You know, maybe could work out. Number 27 is Bryce Young, the highest of the unproven rookies, but still an unproven rookie. And that's pretty much all that I could say. I will say that it is probably the best situation for him overall. So it's not a very bad move for him. And yeah, Number 26 is Mac Jones. This is where we get to like the proven guys, and there's just better than Mac Jones. There's just so much better than Mac Jones out there. But, you know, him, 26, like, just not that good. Just not that good. 25 is Kenny Pickett. I really like Kenny Pickett. I mean, he led his team to a 6-2, I guess, because he didn't play in the Steelers-Panthers game. 6-2 record down the stretch, and he looked really good. He got some game-winning drives in. He looked good for a rookie quarterback. Now, do I expect him to take a step in year 2? Yes, and there's a shot that he doesn't. There's a shot that this is all a scheme thing, as the scheme was very much helping him. I don't care what you think about Matt Canada. He gave Kenny Pickett an easy scheme to learn. He still kind of sucks, but it was good in that aspect. 24, I have Jimmy Garoppolo. This seems to be a little bit low to people, but, like, once you look at it, you can name 22 quarterbacks better than Jimmy Garoppolo. Or, I'm sorry, 23 quarterbacks better than Jimmy Garoppolo. But, you know, he's consistent, and you're going to get a consistent quarterback. You're not going to get a bad year from him. You're not going to get an amazing year from him. He's a bridge quarterback, and you're probably going to draft a guy next year. Maybe not. Maybe in a late first, or mid first, or in the second. Probably not, you know, Caleb Williams or somebody like that. And they're going to develop, and then they're going to step in. But he's good. He's good as a bridge. He's good as a quarterback like that. Ryan Tannehill is at number 23. Ryan Tannehill last year, I think, was at 15. And Ryan Tannehill the year before, I think, was at 10. He was really, really good, and I don't get why a ton of people switched on him. Yeah, maybe the numbers are not at the point that they were then, but he still is all right. He was dealing with some injuries last year, but he's back, and I don't get why a lot of people think that he should be benched. I think that he's all right, but 23, that's where we're going to have to put him. 22 is Brock Purdy. Unproven, you could say, but also he played in an easy scheme last year, and yeah, he balled out, but the guys were wide open, and whenever you had a scheme like that helped him so much, you can't judge him the way that you would judge somebody like C.J. Stroud, who's gonna go into an awful situation. But yeah, it's all right. It's all right. 21 is Taylor Heinicke. I think that this is just like the perfect spot for him. Obviously, that's why I put him there. Coming from the Commanders, who, don't have a quarterback now. I don't know why they got rid of him. Going into a situation, not an amazing situation, but he's going to be able to work through it. And Heinicke, he just brings a spark to your team. And even if Ritter starts the first 5 or 6 games, if he doesn't do good, Heinicke's going to step in and do good. Heinicke is going to give you a spark, and that's just the great thing about Heinicke. Number 20, we have Deshaun Watson, and didn't play well last year. Very much did not play well, but you did see how he played in previous years, and you just have to believe that is going to come back at some point. I just think that off of last year, not good. And he's pretty much starting over as a rookie. You have to take some time to develop back his skills. But It's good. You're stuck with him. You're stuck with him, paying him $46 million a year. That's pretty sad. Number 19 is Russell Wilson. This is kind of the same situation. He's a great quarterback, but when push comes to shove, he's getting paid too much money, and he didn't play well last year, and there's nothing specifically telling me that he's going to play better this year, except for that the offense did get much better after the Nathaniel Hackett hiring. The 2 games that they had remaining after the firing of him, they scored, I believe, 27 and 31. So, he played all right once he was gone, and maybe we're going to see that again, and maybe he's going to be 10 by the end of the year again. But I just don't know. Danny Dimes comes in at 18. He had a great year last year. He threw only 5 interceptions. Yeah, he only threw 15 touchdowns, but still. He ran the ball very well. He's a very good mobile quarterback. And you're going to be all right with him next year. Should you have paid him $40 million? No, especially whenever you look at these contracts like the one that Hurts has, where he's getting paid less than Daniel Jones, technically, until like 2027. And then Jones will be up for a new contract and will get even more. But, he's all right. He's going to be solid. He's going to be solid, and I wouldn't have any complaints with him. I mean, he led you to that win against the Vikings, and that was really good, and that's about it. Justin Fields is at 17. I feel like he should be lower, but at the same time, I don't know who to put him lower than. But I'm not the hugest believer in Justin Fields. I know some people think that he's at 10 to 12, but he can run the ball all right. He can throw the ball all right. He's all right. His team sucks, but he's all right. That's about it. 16, Derek Carr, average, but in a good way. Average in a good way. There's a lot of good quarterbacks in the NFL right now, pretty much, is what I am saying, to the point where 24, maybe even 25 and up is solid, and you can keep them and not be crazy. And 27 to 32 are all projects. The only people that I don't like are Mac Jones and Baker Mayfield. They're the only people that should get replaced, pretty much. But Derek Carr, he's average. He's average. He's all right. Kind of everything. Came from Oakland. Came from Vegas. But yeah. 15 is Kyler Murray. Again, you don't really know what he's going to do, because he's going to be out for half the year. And once he comes back in, what's going to happen? Is he going to be amazing all of a sudden? Probably not. He did not play good last year. Now, that might be somewhat to the point of Cliff Kingsbury, but now you are hiring somebody even worse. Jonathan Gannon. I know from experience. 14 is Dak Prescott, taking a pretty big drop since his interception totals went up. But I still believe in him. I still think that he's a good quarterback. As much as it pains me to say it, he is a very good quarterback. And that's just kind of it with him. 13, maybe one of the more controversial, it's Matthew Stafford of the Rams. He won a Super Bowl in 2021. You got to put him up there because he won the freaking Super Bowl. I had him at 9 last year. Dealt with injuries. Did not look very good when he played. And I know that part of that was that he played some of the best defenses in the NFL. But dealt with injuries and didn't play further than week 11, I think. And I don't really know how to judge him. But yeah, number 12 is Kirk Cousins. I don't get why the Vikings want to get rid of Kirk. Kirk Cousins is good. Kirk Cousins is I mean, he's just better Ryan Tannehill. Like, he can do what you need him to do. And that's great. That's great. He does what you need him to be able to do. And he works really well. I know that he has very good weapons around him. But he's good. That's kind of it. He's good. And I don't care why people don't think that he's good. Number 11 is Tua. Dolphins, of course, there is some speculation with him. 3 concussions, considered retirement, the whole gang sign thing. But I still think that he's good. He showed that he was very good last year, and I think that he's going to prove that even more. He still is the worst out of these 2020 quarterbacks, but that shouldn't be a bad thing because of the fact that, like nobody's really that good. And he would be number 1 in pretty much every draft class around it. But, yeah. Number 10, Geno Smith. 32 last year, from the worst quarterback in the league to number 10 is amazing. Just showed up and balled out last year. I really like him. I don't think that this is a one-year wonder. I don't think that this is a fluke. And I think that he's going to be really good. You're even adding more weapons to him with Jackson Smith and Jigba. They're just getting better and better. And the Seahawks are going to be dangerous. And Geno Smith is going to be a big reason why. At number 9, you might have thought that he was down at freaking 17 through 19. Or unless if you've been wondering where he's at. Jared Goff. Jared Goff played really well last year. Jared Goff had 29 touchdowns to 7 interceptions, over 4,000 yards. Played amazing, almost 70% completion percentage. I know that I haven't brought stats into this at all, but I need to defend the man, Jared Goff. I don't get why they want to replace him. He played amazing last year in his receiving core. His receiving core didn't really get much better. But you just traded his second best weapon in the middle of the year, and it didn't affect him. And now you're replacing it with Sam Laporta, who, is not the person that I would have picked, but he's still going to be all right. He's better than Brock Wright. He's going to be great. He is great. And you shouldn't have any problem, because Jared Goff is a kind of quarterback that you could win a Super Bowl with. If you're in the top 10, you have to be able to win a Super Bowl with that quarterback there. And I can say that with Jared Goff. Genuinely. Number 8 is Aaron Rodgers of the Jets. Of course, took a little bit of a plummet last year with not playing as good, but he still is a good quarterback, and he still is a quarterback that I would trust. And I know that he's old, and I know that the Jets gave up a lot of their future for him. And while I don't really agree with that, with them giving up the future, it's still just a great quarterback. 7, Trevor Lawrence. I know that some people have him as high as like 4 or 5. No, he's not 4 or 5. Idiots. But he still is really good. He had a very good season last year, and you gotta, like, he did good. But he's not as good as 6 through 1. Like, number 6, Lamar Jackson. Of course, he signed a huge extension just a week after they signed Jalen Hurts, and he's no longer highest paid. But they signed him to a huge extension, and he did fairly well. He's done pretty good since his MVP season. It's just that he hasn't been able to replicate that MVP season. But you're giving him weapons. This is going to be the best passing year of Lamar Jackson's career if he stays healthy, which has been a bit of an issue for him. But you also improved the offensive line a little bit. So I think that he's gonna be good. Number 5 is Justin Herbert. 4,700 passing yards last year, just 25 touchdowns. I don't really remember how I remember that, but like no other quarterback stats besides Hurts, obviously. But he's just such a great talent, such a good quarterback. He's always come in, he's always performed. I think the number 5 is great for him. I think that if we're looking for who has a chance to just win MVP, when it came to last year, I had Jackson, Herbert, and Allen, and I'm kind of just going to keep that same list. But speaking of Jackson and Herbert, the next is Josh Allen of the Bills. Very good. I got to go to school pretty soon, so I got to kind of do this a little bit quickly. Josh Allen, very good. Great receivers, great talent around him, but he still just produces all of the time. Number 3 is Joe Burrow. Of course, you have the... he's just had some great stuff. He just is great in general. And, you gotta respect him. He's great. I don't really know where I'm going with that. He does have great weapons around him, but he always produces. He produced whenever they need to last year. He's just really freaking good, is the point. He's good. Okay, number 2, Jalen Hurts. I don't care if you think that he's number 3 or number 4 or number 5 or outside of your top 10, you stupid Dallas fans. But he's great. He was second in MVP voting. He's just amazing. He should have won it. He would have won it if he stayed in. Because if he stayed in, the Eagles would have finished 16-1. And you can't deny that. But, he's a great quarterback. And then number 1, Patrick Mahomes. He's Patrick Mahomes. What do I have to say about him? He's Patrick Mahomes. That's good enough. That is going to be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you drop a like and subscribe to the channel. And I will see y'all in the next one. Peace. Oh, tell me if I should do more of these.